Greetings viewers, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're back on the 100,000+ mile 2019 Forester. Today they've brought it back for the rear brake job. And also they recently had to have this tire plugged for a nail or a screw. And the tire shop rounded off one of the wheel studs. And when I went to take the wheel off, that one snapped off too. So they cross-threaded that one when they put it back on. So today we're going to be doing a rear brake job and replacing two wheel studs on this 2019 Forester. And for all of those of you that have been asking for me to do a brake job on a Subaru with electronic rear calipers, finally I have one that we can do a brake job on. With that said, let's go ahead and jump into the repairs. So guys, first and foremost, we've got the car jacked up and supported on jack stands and the rear wheels and tires off of the car. Now, being that this is a 2019 Forester and equipped with eyesight and an electronic parking brake and electronic rear calipers, the first step for this brake job is to hook up the scan tool. Yes, you do need a scan tool, a pretty substantial one with bi-directional control to do a rear brake job on a newer Subaru. So today we have the Top Don Phoenix Elite once again. Go ahead and connect the car and get into brake service mode. And of course, we've got an update. So update has finished. And we've successfully hooked up to our Subaru Forester here. So again, guys, still learning this scan tool. Been using Snap-on scan tools for over a decade. I believe we'll go to quick access. And I believe it's under special function, advanced function. I believe we need brake pad, disc rotor, caliper replaced. So let's go ahead and put it into maintenance mode. Use this mode when you check, replace, repair, brake rotor, blah, 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 blah. And yes. And our brake calipers will rewind. So now that the brake calipers are rewinded, brake maintenance mode was started. During maintenance mode, the electronic park and brake switch is disabled. In addition, the brake warning light is on and you have a stored code. Okay, so we are all set there. Should be able to go ahead and disconnect the vehicle from the scan tool. Go ahead and replace our brakes, come back, and then activate brake normal mode, of course, after brake pad installation, and be back set. So yeah, guys, this is not very DIY friendly. If you want to do rear brakes on your Subaru, you need a pretty substantial bi-directional control scan tool. So either like a Snap-on Zeus, or this Top Don Phoenix Elite, or Autel, or couple $1,000 scan tool, or the Subaru Select Monitor 4 factory scan tool. All right, guys, now that the car is in brake maintenance mode, we can pretty much go through a regular brake replacement. First, we need to remove these little caps here so we can get to the caliper bolts here. They should be a 7mm hex inside of here. Also a good idea to go ahead and loosen the 12mm headed bolt up here for the brake hose. Otherwise, you're not going to have any slack whatsoever to get that off of there. Now, once we've got that loose, we'll go ahead and hang our caliper here and not allow there to be pressure on the electrical connector down here, and keep pressure off of this brake hose up here. And go ahead and pop out our old brake pad as well. As you can see, pretty daggone thin, near the end of life. So now that that's out of the way, we can go ahead and knock these two 14mm headed bolts. Correction, 17mm headed bolts. And with those out of the way, we can pull our brake caliper bracket off, and now we can just pull our old brake rotor off. And now that we're down to it, we can go ahead and knock out these two broken studs and replace them as well. So, two brand new lug nuts from the parts bin, two brand new wheel studs, which are a Subaru part number 28365FE001. And to make life much simpler, allow 22800. So we'll go ahead and take our big honking dead blow hammer here and launch our old stud right out of there. Just like so. Go ahead and grab our new wheel stud and feed it in from the back side. I'm gonna have to rotate it over here so we got enough room to slide it in, and we'll get it lined up as good as we can get it. We'll take our allow 22800 and slide it over the edge. We'll take a brand new lug nut and thread it on. Just like so. Then we'll take our impact and run her in. And just that easy to replace a busted wheel stud. Just run it in until it's flush with the back of the hub and you're ready to go. Now that we got both of our new wheel studs installed, we can go ahead and get our new brake rotor out. Part number 26700SJ000. And don't forget, brake parts cleaner. Clean all that cosmoline off of the new rotor before we install it. And front and back. Now we can go ahead and reinstall our brake caliper bracket. And tighten our bolts. Torque spec 73 Newton meters for our brake caliper bracket. And got that torqued. Next, we can come in with our new brake pads. That is Subaru part number 26627AL00. Or actually, it might be 26696AL01A. Looks like maybe this supersedes that number. You've got an inner pad and an outer pad. Make sure you've got them in the right location. Now we need to retract the brake caliper, which you'll need a pinned screw-in brake caliper resetter or one of these little brake cubes. And once you've got the right spacing lined up, you'll just put it in here and turn your brake caliper back in. Before you start turning this in, make sure you take loose the cap on the brake fluid reservoir and make sure it doesn't overflow, as when you retract this piston, it's going to push brake fluid back in the reservoir and could potentially overflow it. So now that you've got your caliper turned back in, the piston reset, go ahead and swing it back over onto our new brake pads. Slide it right back in place and run your caliper bolts back in. Snug those up for now before we do our final torque. And come back in with our spring. Just like so. I'm going to go back through and torque those caliper bolts to 25 Newton meters. Now that those are torqued, we can go ahead and pop our covers back in, and we can go ahead and re-secure our brake hose or brake line with that 12mm bolt. And all done on the driver's side. On to do the same process on the passenger side. All right, guys, fresh brake pads and rotors are installed on both sides of the car now. Went ahead and pumped the brake pedal till I got a firm pedal. Now we're gonna go ahead and reinstall our back wheels, tires, and torque our lug nuts to spec, 120 Newton meters. Then we'll jump back in, turn on the car, hook up the scan tool, and return our brakes to regular service mode or regular operation mode. All right, guys, car's back on the ground. Lug nuts are torqued to specification. We are back with the scan tool. We'll go back in to our advanced functions, if the camera will focus. And we'll go back into our caliper or brake pad disc rotor caliper replace. We'll go back to brake normal mode after brake pad installed. Hit OK. When you are done replacing brake pads, you must pump the brake pedal a few times. Pumped it, it's up firm. Build up brake fluid pressure, and the scan tool can clear the light, warning light go off. Okay. Returning to normal mode, electronic parking brake will activate automatically. If all brake work completed, click OK. I guess it means yes. Is the brake pad rotor installed correctly? Yes. Depress the brake pedal slowly until the full stroke is reached. Return to normal mode. Turn ignition off. Start the engine. Confirm operation of electronic parking brake. Parking brake activated. Parking brake off. Parking brake activated. And parking brake off. And that basically wraps it up, guys. We are done with this rear brake replacement on this 2019 Forester. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you all in the next one.